Good morning to one and all. The previous classes we discussed about in the second chapter about horizontal curves and vertical curves, how the classification of horizontal curves and how the classification of vertical curves is done, and what are the different parameters for designing those horizontal curves, and what are the influencing factors depends upon those designing conditions. All of those we discussed on in the second chapter. A few topics were left in the second chapter. Those are these sight distances and horizontal alignments. Those things we need to know in the second chapter. First of all, we need to know about this sight distance. That means sight distance means normally what are the vehicles traveling in front of the road. That means while we are traveling in a particular span of road, we are traveling at a particular point. That means from that point we need to have to observe what are the different sorts of vehicles moving in front of us and in front of in back of our vehicle, so that we need to maintain a proper distance through those vehicles. While we are traveling on the roads and others, some of the vehicles have some note on their back side. That means maintain a proper distance within 50 feet, like that, so that we have to avoid those kind of accidents while we traveling on those particular traveling along with those vehicles, so that we need to have a particular knowledge on this sight distance. First of all, we have to know the sight distance. Sight distance is the available from a particular point at actual distance along the road surface, which a driver from a specified height above the carriageway has a visibility of stationary moving objects. That means a driver having a proper vision facilities while he traveling on a particular vehicle, whether we having a two-wheeler, he having some sort of side distance from the ground level, while he travels with a four-wheeler, that means car, he having some amount of distance with ground level. If he travels with a lorries and other high-rise mechanized equipments, having much amount of distance with the ground level. Likely the driver having different seatings along with different kinds of vehicles, so that he would have different kinds of side distances. Okay, these are the points we need to know about side distance. It is the length of the road visible ahead of the driver at any instant. That means any instant of the time, any instant of the length, we need to know few kinds of vehicles what they are going on beside and in front of us. We are having two figures mentioned in the diagram. In the first figure I will enlarge the pattern, the diagram. In the first vehicle, the vehicle prescribed in the diagram is a car. That means a car was moving on a particular span. That means S is the mentioned here. Those S is called as the sight distance. We are having two object. That means centered point is called as an object in the diagram. Those object we need to see with the help of driver's eye. That means eye, or the dotted line is representation of eye factor to the object. That is the length we are measuring from the center point of the vehicle to particular center of the object. That is the height of the eye to the height of the object. Those things will be same to same and parallel to those ground level. That is the located in the first diagram. In the second diagram we are having a crossing. That means a junction. Normally it is called as a junction or plus junction. We are having different kinds of junctions: plus junction, Y junction, T junction, like different, depending upon the number of lines merging at a particular point, we are having different types of crossings, like that. Here we are in the diagram, we are having plus junction. That means in the plus shape the junction is forming with four lanes, two are opposite to each other. In those two lanes of opposite sections, we are having different vehicles traveling on those. Particularly we need to observe on two sides what the vehicles are coming. On the left side what is the vehicles coming and what is the distance maintaining from that point, and the right side what are the vehicles coming is the intensity of the vehicle and the distance from the vehicle we need to observe with our naked eyes. Otherwise we have to meet a accident, we have to meet with an accident. So that we need to avoid the accidents, we have a particular proper vision from the particular point we are traveling. That is called as the sight distance. The sight distance is classified into different kinds depending upon the passing. Those are different types of sight distances. First of all, totally the sight distance is classified into 5 kinds. That means 5 different types of sight distance are there. All those are visible with eye, but depending upon the position and our attitude, the sight distance will be changes while we are traveling along with the vehicle. That means one type of sight distance we are facing. If we are crossing the vehicle, we need to have some amount of sight distance. Likely different types of sight distance are named as follows. First one we are having is the stopping sight distance or absolute minimum sight distance. The stopping sight distance, it is also called as in the short term SSD. That means stopping sight distance. The other name of SSD is absolute minimum sight distance. Okay, these two things we need to remember. Once in a competitive exams they will ask like this, what is another name of stopping sight distance? Like we need to remember the another name of stopping sight distance is absolute minimum sight distance. Okay, second one is safe or overtaking sight distance. It is called as overtaking sight distance. OSD, we will denote with OSD, overtaking sight distance, OSD. The another name of OSD is passing sight distance. That means overtaking means while we are traveling on a particular span of road, we need to overtake in few conditions. In those conditions, we are taking this sight distance as overtaking sight distance. This overtaking sight distance is renamed. Another name of this overtaking sight distance is passing sight distance. That means while we are observing, while we are passing the vehicle, that means that is named as passing sight distance. And another one, third one is the safe sight distance or entering into unconfined intersection. That means while we are traveling in a particular road, when we intersect with another road, at that particular point we have a different vision. That means in the previous diagram it is a intersection point. That means in the two directions we have to observe. Likely this is the condition. Third one, safe sight distance are entering into unconfined intersections. That means confined and unconfined, two meanings are there. Confined means there is a proper zoning of particular roads. That means 2-lane road or 3-lane road, there is a proper zoning. Unconfined means there is no proper zoning for those. That means we have to go in a particular span, whether there is no measurements for that particular road. That is called as unconfined intersections. That means in unconfined intersections there are no crossings and other points are located. That means we'll have to go as safe as possible because it is an unconfined zone. There is no measurements, no markings, no red lights, no street lights, and no other police patterns are there in those unconfined intersections. And next, fourth one is the intermediate sight distance. This is the intermediate sight distance, means while we have to take particular intermediate positions on crossings, it is called intermediate sight distance. Next one is the headlight sight distance. Headlight sight distance, in the name itself the meaning is we are knowing. That means headlight, while we are traveling in a night time, the headlight will be directly focusing onto our eyes. Due to those, we have no accessibility to observe the another vehicle because of this light directly comes onto our eyes, and reflection and refraction principles, we have some short span of visibility. Those distance is called headlight sight distances. Okay, these are the different kinds of sight distances we are having. Next one, these are the explanations. What is stopping sight distance? What is overtaking sight distance? First of all, we need to read those points. The minimum sight distance available on a particular highway at any spot should be sufficient length to stop the vehicle traveling in a designed speed safely without collision from any other disturbance. That means while we are traveling on a particular length of highway, we need to observe what are the vehicles they are going in front of us, so that while we are have to pass on those vehicles, we need to apply particular amount of brakes. That means intensity of brake we need to apply. For if it is a sudden brake and different kinds of braking systems are there, depending upon the distance between those two vehicles. If the vehicle distance is so large, we need to apply gradually our brakes. If the distance is so low, we need to apply a sudden brakes, so that depending upon those lengths we need to apply, and we have to go for a particular span, that means a particular span with a design speed. In the previous classes we have different kinds of design speeds for different types of roads: national highways, expressways, major district roads, other district roads, state roads, and other roads. We are having different sorts of these lengths, that means different sorts of vehicular speeds we need to maintain. In national highways normally we need to maintain 100 kilometers per hour. In the expressways we need to maintain 120 kilometers per hour. Likely different kinds of roads are having different speed limits. We need to maintain those to avoid these accidents with a safe sight distance we are maintaining. And next one is the overtaking sight distance. In this overtaking sight distance, the minimum sight distance open to the vision of the driver of a particular vehicle intending to overtake slow vehicle ahead with a safety against the traffic of opposite directions. That means two or more vehicles are traveling on a particular length of the span. If the in front of vehicle is going very slowly compared to our vehicle, so that we need to overtake the vehicle by using this overtaking sight distance with a proper precautionary measures and proper design speeds. Okay, this is regarding to the overtaking sight distance. And next another one is the sight distance at intersections, that means at crossings, any other points. Driver entering in unconfined controlled intersections, particularly unsignalized intersections, that means unsignalized, that means no signals are maintaining those particular points. If the signals are there, automatically due to red and green sights, the vehicles will be moving and stopping is taking place on those particular intersections. If there is no proper control system, that means no proper signal system is there, in an unconfined way the vehicles are moving on those particular spots, so that we need to go as slow as possible, and as we have to maintain particular safer sight distances and visibilities on both sides, what we are coming, what they are going. Control avoid the collisions and another clashing with the accidents. That means we need to avoid different collisions, head-on collisions and tail-on collisions and frictions between the two vehicles while we are going. That means మనం ఎప్పుడైనా వెహికల్తో ఆపోజిట్ డైరెక్షన్స్లో కనుక మనం కొలిజన్ అయితే దాన్ని హెడ్ ఆన్ కొలిజన్ అంటాం. వైల్ మనం ఒక వెహికల్ని వెనక నుండి కనుక క్రాషింగ్ అయితే కనుక బ్యాక్ ఆన్ కొలిజన్, head on collision, back on collision. These two are the main kinds. And next sidely we are facing some amount of friction. That means while there is a less distance between vehicle to vehicle, we need to touch with another vehicle, so that there is some sort of accidents likely. This is because of incomfortness in sight distances and other traffic parameters. And the next one is the intermediate sight distance. These things we need to know very carefully. Intermediate sight distance, ISD, these are not prescribed in our syllabus, only for our knowledge we need to know these intermediate sight distance. It is defined as twice the stopping sight distance. That means twice means 2 into SSD, we need to multiply with 2. Twice means when overtaking sight distance it cannot be provided. That means in the overtaking zones intermediate sight distance is not kept in. Intermediate sight distance is provided to give a limited overtaking opportunities to few fast vehicles. That means in expressways and national highways, these intermediate sight distances are majorly keeping to overtake fast moving vehicles from one on to another. Next one, headlight sight distance. That means headlight sight distance we need to know by this terminology prescribed below the headlight sight distance. This is the distance visible to driver during night driving. That means while we are traveling with a vehicle on night time, definitely there is a lack of lighting facility. That means there is, in the morning time automatically the sun is there, you will have to visible all the vehicles what they are going on those particular spans. But in case of night time there is no proper lighting system, In some of the places we are having street lights in national highways on particular spans, they are maintaining these high focused lights, but in case of other systems, other roads and other patterns, we are not having few lighting systems. So that we need to have headlights of a particular vehicle. By using those headlights, we need to travel on those particular roads. Okay, this is the major phenomena, headlights sight distance. During night time driving under the illumination of the vehicle headlights, that means illumination, some sort of memory. Illuminating means we are assuming illuminating the vehicle headlights, the sight distance is critical at up gradients and the ascending stretch of the valley curves. That means valley means normally in the previous classes we are discussed valleys, curves, particularly in the designing of horizontal curves and vertical curves. In the horizontal curves, we are not having valleys because the road is as in a horizontal plane. But in case of vertical curves, we are having these valleys and others because the road is against constructed against ground level. That means the road is moving in upward direction due to these hilly areas and others. So that in the particular valley areas or curves, we have this light problem. That means headlight sight distance we need to maintain. This is the major. And next one by one we have to read and what are the factors affecting on those sight distances. Why we have to face this sight distance? What are the factors to obstruct and others? First of all, stopping sight distance. It is the minimum sight distance available on a particular highway on the particular length of the road. It also already discussed in the previous points. And what factors it depends, that means what are the major factors should depends upon this sight distance. First of all, the major factor is feature of road ahead. That means feature అంటే మనకు ఫీచర్స్ అంటే ఒక వెహికల్ అనేది మనం కొన్నప్పుడు ఆ వెహికల్కి మనం ఫీచర్స్ అనేవి చూస్తూ ఉంటాం. ఆ వెహికల్ యొక్క ఫ్యూయల్ ట్యాంక్ యొక్క కెపాసిటీ ఎంత, వెదర్ ఇట్ ఈస్ 5 లీటర్ ఆర్ 10 లీటర్, ఆ వెహికల్ యొక్క టైర్స్ అనేవి ఎంత గ్రిప్తో ఉన్నాయి మనకి, అండ్ నెక్స్ట్ ద వెహికల్ అనేది మనకి యావరేజ్ స్పీడ్ ఎంత వస్తుంది అండ్ మ్యాక్సిమం స్పీడ్ ఎంత వస్తుంది, అవన్నీ కూడా ఫీచర్స్. లైక్లీ ఫర్ డిఫరెంట్ కైండ్స్ ఆఫ్ రోడ్స్ వీఆర్ హ్యావింగ్ డిఫరెంట్ ఫీచర్స్, వెదర్ ఇట్ ఈస్ ఏ 2-lane రోడ్ ఆర్ 4-lane road, 3-lane road or multi-lane road, we need to have. And the next one is the feature is what type of paving surface. That means whether it is a CC road or BT road, that means cement concrete road or bituminous tar road, we need to have. And the next one is the what kind of markings are there, what kind of curves are there, it also have to know. All those are the features of a particular road. And next one is the height of driver's eye above the road surface. That means for different kinds of vehicles, different height levels we are having. As previously we discussed that cars we are having one sort of head light distance, and the bikes we are having one sort of distance. And the next one, lorries we are having one sort of light. Likely we are having average driver's height, that means 1.2 meters. That means 1 meter means we are having 3.3 feet. Likely simply we are having below 5 feet, we are having a height of the driver's height from the ground level below 5 feet. After that, height of the object above road surface should be 0.15 meters. That means object will be in 0.15 meters means simply less than 1 feet. 0.3 meters means we are having 1 feet, below 1 feet we are having. Next one, it is a criteria for the measurement. The vehicle is moving on a particular curve, that means it is a vertical curve, because I will explain with the diagram. It is a particular x direction and y direction we are having. X direction and y direction, the road is raised with respect to y direction, that is called, we are called it as a vertical curve. Criteria for the measurement of the particular vertical road. This is the major criteria we need to have, because the car is moving on a particular vertical alignment. While the vehicle is moving, we need to observe what are the in front of vehicles we are having, at what height they are having, what distance is there between the two vehicles. We need to measure with our naked eye. Otherwise, we have to meet with a huge amount of accidents without these illuminations and others. Normally, the height of the vehicle driver is 1.2 meter, height of the vehicle is 0.15 meters as per the prescribed prescriptions of Indian Road Congress. All those values are given. And the next one, factors affecting stopping state distance. That means factors, కారణాలు. మనకి ఈ కారణాలు ఏమేమి అవుతాయంటే, ఫస్ట్ వన్, ద టోటల్ రియాక్షన్ టైమ్ ఆఫ్ ద డ్రైవర్. వాట్ ఈస్ రియాక్షన్ టైమ్ ఆఫ్ ద డ్రైవర్? The reaction means simply, while we are traveling with a vehicle, suddenly there is another vehicle was coming, we need to react with our mindset and other braking conditions of the vehicle. Otherwise, we need to collision with the another vehicle which is coming opponent to our vehicle. That means the totally depends upon the reaction time. That means reacting with bonding with another molecule. That simply it is called as a reaction. The total reaction time of the driver depending upon its driver's mindset. If the driver is drunken, that means driver having any fuel in his body, that means there will be some amount of illusionation in his mindset, so that he will not capture the image of the vehicle and the distance between those two vehicles, so that huge amount of accidents were occurring due to this drinking purpose of the drivers. Next one is the speed of the vehicle. What the design speed we are having on those particular span of the road, and what speed we are maintaining on the particular road. Those things also affect the stopping side distances. Next one is the efficiency of the brake. In the stopping side distances, both vehicles are having same distance. That means they are moving in a particular span of the length. That means if the both vehicles are having same speed, that means both are having same speed, means they are maintaining a particular distance along with us. If they are not maintaining the same speed, that means if the speed of the vehicles is varying, that means automatically we need to cross, or we need to have to stay on those particular point because of this vehicular speeds. Next one is the efficiency of the brakes. That means the braking system of the vehicle is very good. That means whenever we are applying on a particular point, automatically the vehicle will be stopped. Otherwise, after some span of time, the brakes will react, means we definitely will have to face accidents due to this shortage of braking system. That means shortage means not లేకపోవడం, మనకి రఫ్గా వర్క్ చేయకపోవడం వల్ల. దట్ మీన్స్ రఫ్గా వర్క్ చేస్తే కనుక దేర్ విల్ బి ఎ ఫ్రిక్షన్ బిట్వీన్ టైర్ అండ్ paving surface. Automatically vehicle will stop the particular point. Next one is the frictional resistance between the road and tire. Another parameter, if the tires are so old, that means the top layer will be eroded because of this rapid movement on particular surface of the roads. If the vehicle is simply moving on BT roads, there will be less friction between tire and pavement. If the vehicle is moving on CC pavement, that means cement concrete pavement, there will be a huge amount of friction between tire and pavement, so that in a normal living areas, major part of the roads are CC roads. Why? Because we need to maintain proper friction between the vehicle and road surface, so that we need to avoid major amount of accidents in living areas. Living areas means major population will be at a particular point, they are living with housings and others. That means apartments, normal houses and others, so that in those cases they are mainly using these CC roads, cement concrete roads, on those areas. But in case of traveling purpose, like national highways, other highways, major district roads, and interconnecting between two cities and other areas, industrial areas, they are using these BT roads, bitumen tar roads. That is the criteria for laying off those roads. Next one is the gradient of the road. That means gradient means slope they are maintaining on a particular span of the road to encounter the water entering on those particular roads. That means simply for drainage purpose they are maintaining these gradients and others to encounter those drainage of water from the particular span of the road. We need to maintain proper gradient. If the gradient is not proper, that means rising and falling, rising and falling, that means the vehicle will have to face up and downs automatically. Speed should not be maintained by the driver, and there will be a confusion to the upcoming vehicles and back going vehicles. Automatically we will have to face accidents. These are the major factors affecting on the stopping side distances. Next one is the total reaction time of the driver. That means it is one of the key point in the stopping side distance. What is the total reaction time of the driver? On which cases it depends upon. First one is it is the time taken from the instant of the object to visible to the driver. At instant he will apply the brake. That means whenever a driver is observing a particular vehicle is suddenly stopped on a particular road, that means instantly he have to respond and apply the brakes. Okay, that is called reaction time. Otherwise the vehicle is simply moving, we also have to move along the vehicle. If the vehicle is suddenly stops, means we have to stop the vehicle by using our braking system. This is called the reaction time of the particular driver. That means whoever driving the vehicle. The particular driver's reaction time totally depends, divided into two parts. That means perception time and braking reaction time. Perception time, braking reaction time. Those two things we need to remember. What is perception? This perception also we have to study in our mathematical knowledge, perceptual theories and others in physics and mathematics. We are having this terminology perception. Different designing a curves like that and plotting a curves. Perceptions we have to face. What is the perception time? It is the time from the instant of the object comes on the particular line of sight of the driver. That means in a particular line what we have, our vehicle is going on that same line, another vehicle is going and suddenly stops. We need to have some perception times. This time have to reach to our brain with the help of our eyes and other ears. That means eyes means when we are going on the vehicle we need to observe with the help of eyes. If there is any sound systems, that means another back side we are having a vehicle, definitely they will blow horn. We need to hear those with our ears, so that our eyes and ears having major part while we are driving a particular vehicle. So that those two things depends upon this perception time. Second one is a braking reaction time. That means braking reaction time. The brake reaction also depends upon several factors including skill of the driver. That means skill means driver యొక్క నైపుణ్యము. If the driver having huge amount of experience in taking those vehicles, that means the lorry drivers are having a huge amount of experience because they are daily traveling on those lorries for carrying goods and others from one state to another state, from some conditions one country to another country, so that they are having a huge amount of experience with those lorries and their systems, lorry systems. Likely different patterns and different vehicles are having different systems of brakings, so that the driver should be easily have to have a access on the vehicle to apply braking systems. That is the main reason, braking reaction time. That means in some cars they are having two lane different braking systems, front braking and back braking, front wheel brakings and others. So that if we apply suddenly a front wheel braking means definitely a dragging wheel occurs. That means suddenly we are applying a braking on our front wheels. That means there will be a movement applying on the front wheel, so that simply force will be dissipated from one point, so that we need to apply brakes gradually, front back wheel to front wheel. First of all, we need to have control on back wheels, and after that we need to control our front wheels. Those total reaction time should be depends upon this PIEV theory. That means some theory was developed by the researchers. That means researchers have made some theories depending upon these vehicular traffics and other things, and what is the reaction time of the driver, how he was facing the roads and others. What is the PIEV theory? This PIEV theory has represented with this diagram in the chart. That means what is perception, we are mainly discussed in the previous slide. Next one is the intellection, emotion, violation. Intellection means the skill of the driver, intellectual property. And next one is the emotion. Emotion means the thing the driver faces while he suddenly observes a vehicle, that is called emotion. Those emotion will be observed on his face. Next one is a violation. That means application or any violation of those accidents. All those things will be discussed in this PIEV theory: perception, intellection, emotion, and violation. Those four characteristics will be observed on driver mechanism and its properties and its brain set. Those four things are once again discussed here. What is perception? It is the time required for the sensation received by the eyes and our ears. That means eyes means we are visible, but front vehicles are visible with our eyes, and back vehicle horns are here with our ears. So that eyes and ears, we are having both major part while we are traveling, and those two signals will be transmitted to our brain with the help of neurons, and those neurons will be having different functions with our hands and legs, different kinds of sensing neurons with our legs and hands, so that they will be suddenly sending some signals to our hands and legs, so that we have to apply brakes. That is called perception time. And spinal cord also having a major role, because we have to move our head with the help of the spinal cord and nervous system. Next one is the intellection. It is the time required for the understanding the situation. That means while we are traveling on a particular road, there is a suddenly vehicle comes in front of us. That means we have to respond on those particular action. That means what we have to do, how we need to face those problem, what are the different ways to avoid those problem. All those are comes under these situation understandings. And the next one is the emotion controlling. It is a time elapsed during the emotional sensation. That means if we are having a fear while we observing on those vehicle, we need to face those fear problems. Likely we are having different kinds of emotions on our depending upon our mindset. That means if the driver having huge amount of experience, if they don't having any fear or any other problem, because he was having experience, he knows how to obstruct that passage, like that. And next one is the violation. Violation, it is the time for the final action. That means action means is there any application of brakes or any movement of our clutch or any, that means steering, by using steering or any other, we need to take different kinds of actions to contract those accidents. The total reaction time of the driver may varies from 0.5 to 4 seconds. That means half second to 4 seconds. Total reaction time will be depends upon 0.4 seconds, 5 seconds to 4 seconds. And next we have to analyze this stopping sight distance. What are the different parameters we are using to analyze these stopping sight distances? Majorly these stopping sight distances are useful while there is any intersection of curves. That means intersection of two roads or two or more roads. At those particular points we need to have this stopping sight distance. The stopping sight distance is the sum of the lag distance and the braking distance. That means lag means we are very slow, and braking distance, that means the time of applying our brakes on the particular span of distance, that is called braking distance. And lag distance, it is the distance the vehicle traveled during the reaction time, that means while we are observed a particular vehicle in front of us, after seeing the vehicle, what is the distance we traveled, that is called as the lag distance or duration of the time. Next one, if the v is the design speed, that means majorly design speed we will calculate in terms of meter per second and kilometer per hour. Depending upon those two factors, the formulas will be varies, because meter per second equal to 5 by 18 kmph. Likely we are having some relation between meter per second to kmph, kilometer per hour. We need to have those two formulas. Lag distance equal to distance equal to velocity into time. Velocity equal to, we are having meter per second, time we are having only second, second will get cancelled, we are having distance equal to in terms of meters. Likely lag distance equal to v into t. I will show with distance equal to velocity into time. Velocity we are having meter per second into second, second will cancel, distance in terms of meters. This is the phenomena we are having, where v is meter per second, t equal to 2.5 seconds. Next we are having is lag distance. What is the lag distance? Lag distance we are having 0.278 vtm, that means velocity in terms of kilometer per hour, t equal to 2.5 seconds. In terms of kmph we are having 0.278 vtm. So that there is a difference between meter per second and kmph. Next thing we have to discuss is braking distance. Braking distance is the distance traveled by a vehicle after the application of brake. That means in some cases we are simply applying the brakes, that means the tire is not moving. Due to velocity of the vehicle will reach to up to 1 or 2 meters after applying the brake, because while we are traveling with a huge amount of speed, that means in 80s 90s our bike is going, simply at that speed we are applying a brake, means our vehicle also moving with some sort of distance. Those distance is called as a braking distance. Normally we are traveling in a road, we will observe these kind of braking distances for few vehicles, because of the different problems they are facing in front of vehicles, back going vehicles, and suddenly signal systems and some sort of police patterns are arranged in a particular points. Due to those, we are having this braking distance applied on different points. Next one is a work done against the friction force stopping the vehicle. That means whenever we are applying a friction force, that means a brake on the particular point, there will be some sort of friction between tire and vehicle. Due to those, our tire will be having some friction, where W is the total weight of the vehicle. That means the total weight of the vehicle will be concentrated on our tire at a particular point on the vehicle, so that we are having F into L equal to F into W into L. That means the weight of the vehicle also having some sort of power on the particular span of the road. So that kinetic energy in the design speed, that means kinetic energy means vehicle is in moving, that means kinetic energy we are having, force acting on the vehicle in terms of kinetic energy, force equal to mass into velocity. Thus will be discussed mass into velocity, that is mv square, force equal to mv square we are having. This is the formula we are getting, braking distance equal to v square by 2gf, and side distance equal to lag distance plus braking distance. Lag distance we are having is 0.278 v into t. Braking distance we are having v square by 2gf. That means 2gf means g equal to 9.8 we are having. After that we are having 254 because of this meter per second and kilometer per hour we are having variation. This is the coefficients given in the IRC codal provisions, so that what speed we are having, coefficient of friction on the particular road. If we are going with 30 km per hour, we are having a friction of 0.40, that means more amount of friction. If we are going with 40 kilometers, that means the friction will be decreases 0.4 to 0.38, that means some amount of 0.02. While we are traveling with 50 speed, we are having 0.37 as a friction coefficient, that means FC. With 60 velocity, we are having 36. Likely, if your vehicular speed is going, the friction will be decreasing, so that we need to have a greater friction with less amount of speed we are maintaining. If the vehicle speed is more than 80, there will be a friction of 0.35. Okay, there is the such that stopping side distance equal to 2 into SSD in a two-way traffic lane. In one-way traffic lane, the stopping side distance equal to stopping side distance, because one-way traffic we are having two lanes, that means two lanes going ahead to each other. Ahead to each other means one way they are going, another way opponent vehicles going. But in case of two-way line systems, that means two-way means one way simply going vehicles, in another way simply other way going vehicles, so that we are having huge amount of speed we are maintaining, so that SSD equal to 2 times SSD in two lane roads. For one lane road we are having normal SSD.